Hello, this is Master Daniel 96, and in today's video, I'll be going over about Rey taking on the Skywalker name at the end of The Rise of Skywalker, and I'm going to be reading an article from digitalspy.com, and it's titled Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker's Big Rey Twist Was Planned Before The Force Awakens, and this is by Dan Sedun, which was published on April 6, 2020. So let's dive in. Rey's surprising journey was mapped out all the way back in 2014, almost 18 months prior to the release of Star Wars The Force Awakens. During last year's trilogy close of The Rise of Skywalker, Rey eventually adopted the Skywalker mantle despite not sharing a biological link to the iconic name. But in the book The Art of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, a conversation involving creative executive Pablo Hidalgo reveals she was going to do this even though the sequel trilogy has been criticized for lacking an overall plan. Via Screen Rant, Hidalgo discussed, "I like the idea that she's going to be our Skywalker, but she's not a Skywalker. Then, for our purposes, the Skywalker is really a metaphor. It doesn't have to be something that's directly connected to blood. So basically, being a Skywalker is more like practicing a kind of heroic Jedi philosophy." This is an interesting tidbit for fans of the franchise, and of course, we learn that Rey is in fact the granddaughter of the Emperor, which, that does happen in the movie. And continuing on, meanwhile, Star Wars novelist Ray Carson has defended Rey's decision to forsake her Palpatine heritage in The Rise of Skywalker. Rey rejects everything about him and takes on the Skywalker mantle and legacy. In the end, it's a Palpatine who turns to the light, thus handing the Skywalkers their ultimate victory, she explained. And that is pretty much the article from Digital Spy, and they talk about it. It's something from the art book for The Rise of Skywalker that they planned, and then from Pablo Hidalgo that they planned, Rey to take on the Skywalker name from the beginning. And I guess, some bits were planned with the sequel trilogy from the beginning. I mean, as things go on, and, I know that's always been the big debate on how, with the sequel trilogy having an overall plan, but I guess, they had an idea where to go, but probably they didn't have, but that's a different discussion for another time about all this was, so I guess that's one bit we know about Rey, her taking the Skywalker name, but the discussion, was it planned of her being a nobody from day one, or her being a Palpatine from day one? Well, that's a different discussion for another time, but the big focus of this was her taking the Skywalker name, and I was pretty much a supporter of the Rey Skywalker theory, ever since The Force Awakens. Pretty much what I was hoping what I thought with Rey being a Skywalker, I was hoping more for that Rey would end up being the daughter of Luke Skywalker and Mara Jade. And if you are a watcher, if you've been following this channel from the very early days, post Force Awakens, pre-Last Jedi, you know that I was hoping that Rey would be Luke and Mara's daughter, and definitely I did a few videos on that in the early days, and definitely sorry for that little tangent there, but I guess in The Rise of Skywalker, I guess for us Rey Skywalker people from The Force Awakens, I guess we kind of get what we wanted, but it wasn't like with her being a Skywalker by blood, but she takes on the Skywalker name, so I guess we kind of get our little victory, but that's just a little tangent there, and that does it for me in this video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think down below, and I'll catch you guys next time with another video.